Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the class of BC&R. I see some of you are always punctual and they're always before time. I'm glad that you are. Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, so we are doing chapter number 3, and this is the last class of chapter number 3. And with this, we will be done with the grammar and the vocabulary section of the course. And later, I think we will start with the writing skills part and your comprehension part now. Oh, so many of you said good afternoon together. Wow. I'm good, Harshika. I'm good. How are you? Okay. So, like my question that I always ask, I hope the chapter 2 and chapter 3 and whatever we have done so far is clear to you guys. If there is any problem, you have still, you can still ask me because I'm still teaching you right now. In case you want to send any query, please send. If everything is clear to you, then we are good to go ahead with today's class. We will be covering, I think, 3-4 more topics, and then we'll be done, and then we'll have a practice session. Anybody, any query, you can ask me now. On your website, I was looking at, there's so many. Neha, I have not taught. Archana, why? Sorry. The class has just started, and I've not even started with the concepts. No sorry, please. Neha, I have not taught jargon yet. That I need to start now. So don't worry, you have not missed any. Yeah, I was saying that on your website, on ICAI's website, there are a lot of question papers of previous years, RTPs and mock test papers. I hope that you would be going through them and you will get an idea about how the questions will be and, what is going to be the level of the questions and the kind of questions that are asked in the exams. So I suggest you that you go and you go through those question papers and read all the questions carefully and then solve them as well. Make sure that you do that. Bhumika, your question is what would be the suitable prefix for spell? Maybe misspell? If you misspell this word, MIS, miss. Okay, okay. Anything else? Anybody wants to ask? So I have like 2 queries, which is about jargons and then about the suitable prefix for spell. Besides this, is this anything else? So I think let's just start now. Do you have your study materials with you? Okay, let's start. So there's no problem at all. Sarthak, what is it? Vico, I don't get it. What does that mean? You just clear yourself. What does that mean? What you've written? Neha, what does it mean? RTP and MTP, how do you check it? I think answers are uploaded. For either of some, I mean, either for RTPs or MTPs, answers are uploaded on the website. Sathik, because I just moved. I was just adjusting my angle. Yeah, I think the video is fine now. I hope so. Neha, that's what I'm saying. I think the answers are available on the website itself. I'm not sure for which ones, but for one of these, the options are the answers are available either for RTPs or MTPs. The answers are given or the hints are given of that is uploaded on the website. So I think you can just check and you can have an idea of what. Okay, can we start now? If there's no other query. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Sorry, guys. Sorry, there's a call. Yeah. So now we're going to start with the jargon words. Now, what do we understand by the word jargons? Oops. Jargon words. Now, jargon words are basically a specialized or a technical language that is only understood by those who are members of a group or who belong to a specific profession or specific trade. It's a very technical language or technical words that are used within the profession, within the organizations. Right? So these terms, like for example, the lawyers will have their own terminologies or, their own technical words that they can use amongst themselves. Okay. Doctors have their few words that, doctors amongst themselves understand better rather than the layman understanding those words. And it's for their understanding, the way they use these words. Okay. Lawyers have their own this thing. Businessman, maybe, somebody who's into trade. they have few words that they specifically use to explain their thing. Okay, and so everybody has few words, and teachers would have their few specific words that are used amongst themselves and not the other person can understand. So basically those words and those vocabularies are called jargon words. Okay, am I clear? This is a very vague definition of what jargon words are. Right? These vocabularies are supposed to be used only with the people with the same profession. Okay, with the ones who can understand. For example, CAs again would have their own terminologies about few things that others don't understand. The clients will not understand those words, but yes, CAs amongst themselves will understand when they use those words. So it is always recommended to use those words amongst the people who are part of your trade and profession. You are not supposed to use jargon with everybody else. Am I clear? Because it is not accepted or understood by everyone. For outsiders of that group, it is completely meaningless. Those words will become completely meaningless for them. Right? You'll understand when I start discussing the examples of these vocabulary words. But this is what to understand, that this is very specific and technical. This is a very technical terminology. Am I still on mute? No, I'm not. Okay. Sanjana, I'll try if I can do that. If I have time today, let's do it today only. Okay, now for example, if I say in a courtroom, you must have understood this. You must have heard of this. Your objection is overruled. Okay. Now, your objection is overruled. Have you ever used these two words together in your daily communication, or have you ever heard anybody using these words in a very daily conversation, in a very, everyday conversations, casually? No, it is not. It is a very legally, it is always used in a courtroom, and you must have heard it during the trials if you have witnessed any, or maybe in the movies, or in any shows, in any video when they are showing the courtroom trial going on. So this is a legal jargon. Not everybody uses this. Am I clear? Yes, this is very specific, and not everybody would even understand what it means, right? If two people are talking and the other person is trying to object the other person, you do not say. It is only by the judge. You only hear the judge speaking these words. Nobody else uses these words. Have you ever heard your parents saying this when two siblings are fighting? Right? When two siblings are arguing, have you ever heard your parents speaking this? Your objection is overruled? No. No. In a normal scenario, nobody uses this. Not even in an organization. Probably two colleagues have a dispute or an argument in front of a boss, right? The employer will not use these words because this is not part of their everyday language. This is only part of the legal trade, legal profession. Am I clear? This is one example. Then there's another is, for example, there is another sentence that you hear. The suspect is headed west on Route 10. Okay. Now, in this word, suspect, this is a word that is mostly used by police, right? So again, this becomes a police jargon because this is used by them. This is not something that is used by everybody. Am I clear? Right? You don't use the word suspect casually for anybody. Right? It is mostly being announced or used by police only whenever there is a case going on. You don't casually start blaming people around you and say, okay, this person is suspect. No, you don't do that. Not even for the normal things. We don't blame and call anybody a suspect. Clear? Yes? Okay, another example if you would like to, for better explanation. Now, I need a script in order to pick up the medicine. Okay. Now, the word script, it has two meanings to it. One is script is, of course, you use it for, a film script or a, play script, right? In the medical terminology, script is basically a prescription, right? Now, again, not everybody would understand this word script because normally we understand the word prescription. Prescription is a word that everybody understands. But script is a very technical word. So if you're using the word script with a patient or, somebody who doesn't know this, then, the person will not understand what you're talking about. But if there are two people are talking and they belong to the same profession, they will understand what script is. Am I clear? Yes? So this is what jargon is about. Is there any problem? Yes, Shiva. That's exactly why I underline both the word objection and overrule. These two words are not used together in normal, everyday. Yes, Mr. Reddy, I'll do that. That's exactly what I said. Okay, when I take a break, I tend to start reading your comments. So don't worry when I, when I stop speaking in the middle of something. Okay. So this is why I said objection word, of course, we use every day. But I have underlined objection and overrule together. These two words are not used together in a everyday conversation. And not by a layman. You will only hear a judge saying all of these words. Okay, so coming on to this jargon words, and on your page number 3.8, on page number 3.8, there are a list of jargons given, right? Okay, now why do we use jargons? Why do you think we should know about jargons? And why do you think, how jargons can actually help us in our English language and all of that? Anybody who can think of something that how jargons can actually help us improve our vocabulary. Anybody? Not technically. So Priyanka says to replace long sentences, or Neha says to say meaning in a short form. No, I don't think this really helps in that. Of course, jargons have long meanings to attach to it. Yes, it can reduce the use of words, but it does something else also. If we don't, no. No. It is not used so that, people don't understand your private conversations. No. Nimisha, good that you pointed out it's type of slang. I was just going to come on that this is not slang. Jargons are not slang words. So don't even confuse them. I'll explain you why. These was okay, go on, go on. I think everybody's kind of coming up with good reasons to use jargons. Anything else that you guys can come up with? We can know what they do. Okay. No, jargon is not to hide secrets. Please stop saying that. No, 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 no. Jargon is not to hide any secret. It is not misused. I mean, maybe people misuse it, but no, it's nothing to be misused. Okay. I mean, Archana, of course, communication becomes effective by using jargon when you're talking to people from the same trade, not with everybody else. Yes, Bhumika. It creates a good image in minds of people because it makes the other believe that you know your trade, you know what you're talking about. So it also basically, I'm glad that Bhumika could come up with something very good. Yes, jargon words create good image because the other person can trust you with your work, and the other person, basically understands that you know what you're saying and you know your work. You're not just saying for the heck of saying something. Kushagra, I'm not sure if it makes the conversations shorter, but definitely it makes it more effective. There was nothing to understand about the script. I just said that script is a medical jargon. People from the medical background, they understand the word script, but we do not because we are not from the medical background. All of us are not doctors here. So, and not even aspiring doctors. So we don't understand what script is. For us, script would be a play script, but for doctors, it is prescription. Yes, it helps experts to communicate with clarity and precision. Very good. Yes, there's a clarity in the conversation, and probably, when you're talking in a very technical language, then you are able to communicate things better, and there's a better clarity. Having said that, the other person also understands that. It will not protect your information because, anybody can just Google the words that you use. So it anyway cannot protect your information. Okay. So, yes, now let me in a very brief manner why people use jargon and why we should use jargon. It makes them sound more important. Yes, when you use these words, Okay, it makes you sound important because these are like technical words are like heavy words. So if you're using, you are sounding like you know everything. You're very intelligent, and you are part of this. So of course, important one thing. The second is intelligent. Uh, well, yes, technically, to show competence within a specific field. Okay, when you want to show that you know, like I just said, to show that you know your work. Okay, and it's basically builds the trust with the community also. Basically, so for example, you have a CA group. Okay, you have a CA WhatsApp group, or you have a group online, whatever, to meet them. So when you use these words, and the others also understand, it kinds of builds the trust, authority, and it adds value to you, right? If you're writing something, basically, if you're writing for a specific group of people, like you're a lawyer and you're writing an article which is related to some legal issue, if you're using the jargon, and you know that your target audience is the other lawyers who are going to read this, so jargon actually helps to add value in your writing, because those lawyers will understand what you're saying, right? Yes, to misuse it, if two CAs are sitting together and there's a client sitting there, if you want to hide something, if you have your own, interests in it, of course you can misuse it. This is very easy to misuse it, right? But it would be wrong to say that jargons are used to hide the information. People do it, but it's wrong to say that. Now, somebody just said it's a slang. No, jargon words are not slang words. Jargon words are the formally words that are used in the professions. These are not slangs. Okay, this is not used casually, or it is not a part of casual language or informal language. No, it is very much formal language. Right? Any problems? Otherwise, I'll just go ahead with the next topic now. If everybody is clear with what jargons are, we'll just go ahead. There are a list of few jargon words that are given on the page number 3.8 and 3.9. You can go through them. Now, jargon words can be only learned, and then, of course, you need to practice them while speaking. Use them quite often. But, of course, for you, not every jargon word is useful. So you have to learn jargon words which is useful to you. Not every jargon word will help you, or you will not use everything. So just learn the words that are of use to you. Clear? Yes? Anything that anybody wants to understand? Otherwise, we'll start with the next topic. If everything is clear, then let's just continue. Okay, now let's understand the next topic, which is the of uh, loan words. Now, loan words is another topic which is interesting. Basically, the loan words are words that are actually borrowed from the other languages and has been the part of our English language, right? Over the years, that they have just been slowly and steadily it became the part of our language, right? The words have been used as it is, and if they're used as it is, the meanings remain the same. Nothing has been changed, but they're just simply borrowed from the loan. What is loan? Loan is borrowing something, right? So these words are basically borrowed. And ever since the history of English language, there's so many words that are actually picked from the other languages and become the part of our language, right? But there's few words that we use specifically as like foreign words. They look foreign words. We speak in their pronunciation and we use it in our daily conversations. For example, when you go to a basically university or maybe schools, people are appointed on the basis of ad hoc, right? For a particular purpose, it means it has been taken from Latin word. And ad hoc means that you hired somebody for a particular purpose. They are not permanent here. You have not offered them a permanent, employment. They are just for a specific period for a particular reason, and then they will leave. So their person is for the particular duration. Okay, so that is what ad hoc means, and there are a lot of colleges and universities. They actually call out for ad hoc vacancies. Okay, you go to a restaurant and they ask you, would you like to go for a buffet or would you like to order from would you like to go for a la carte, right? Now a la carte means from the menu, like would you like to choose what you want to eat from the menu. Now a la carte is used by every restaurant, although these words have been picked up from French language. This is part of French language and they're used as it is. Am I clear? Yes. Bon appetit. Now, again, these words are used very commonly when you want to say somebody, enjoy your meal. Okay. Bon voyage. Have a good journey. Right? Modus operandi. Now, modus operandi is picked up from Latin, which tells you about the method of procedure or method of operating something. So, if you've seen in the formal reports of organizations, modus operandi is used the way it is. Yes, although it is picked from Latin language. Prima facie. Prima facie is again very commonly used in professional language to say that, at the first view or at the look of it, everything looks fine or, things are not okay, whatever it is. But these words are used very commonly. All right. So it's very interesting. You can actually just download the entire list of words and you can just go through them and find out what all words are picked up from other languages and we use the language in our daily conversation. Clear? Are we clear? Thank you, Neha, if everything is clear to you. Deja vu. Yes, we say deja vu so many times and we experience deja vu. Okay, can we move on now? We'll start with the topic phrasal verbs. Shall we start? Yes, also Rico. Okay. So look at your screen. I've just shared my PPT. Now, phrasal verb is basically a type of compound verb made up of verbs, usually one action on word, one, okay, and a prepositional adverb, also known as adverbial participle. The phrasal part might have two parts or three parts to it, right? You have a verb, and then you have attached to it, you have an preposition. Verb is followed by a preposition, so it becomes that those words have their own meaning of their own. Basically, they become different words altogether, like take off, leave out. Like there's so many words that have different meanings altogether when they come together. Look at this. Account for. Now, account for are two words, right? Account, verb, and then there is a preposition. But when it comes together, account for becomes to explain or to give a reason for something. Am I clear? Yes. Allow for. And these words are usually used together for a specific meaning. If you are looking at these meanings, then you have to use these words together. Clear? Yes. Add up to make sense or seem reasonable. The facts in the case just don't add up. Okay. It doesn't make sense. What you're trying to say is that the facts in the case they are not making any sense to you. So you basically say, instead of saying it doesn't make sense, you just say don't add up. That means it's not helping us in any way. Agree with. I agree with you to have the same opinion. Okay, agree with. Now, when these two words come together, they have a separate meaning altogether. Are we clear? Yes. Now, phrasal verbs are basically part of our spoken English, also formal language. Also, it is used both ways, but yes, try to use it less when it comes to formal communication. Formal emails or formal when you're talking formally. But otherwise, even if you use it, there's nothing wrong about it, right? Phrasal verbs are mostly used in idioms or phrases. The words, the verbs, the idioms have their own meaning, separate meaning altogether. So phrasal verbs are mostly part of idioms, and that is how you use them. Now, why should we use phrasal verbs? How does it help us? And what for? Now, phrasal verbs is basically it, of course, having without any doubt, everything adds on to your spoken English. It makes it even better. It makes you sound that you are somebody who has a good grip or command over language. You're not new to the language. It's effective, of course, and phrasal verbs can altogether change the language, and it can make it more friendly also and easy to understand, easy flowing. Now, phrasal verbs are such kind of verbs that mostly people understand. It's nothing like that people don't understand what phrasal verbs are. Now, another advantage is that you can easily substitute a string of long words with single phrasal verb. Now, you can simply just now look at this. Apply for. Now, instead of saying, do so many things to make a formal request for something, you can just simply use the word applied for. It just shortens the use of sentences, use of words for us, right? If you're using phrasal verbs, you might have to use less words to explain what you're trying to say. Like, yeah, there's a whole list of phrasal verbs given. This list is separate from the list given in your study material, so you can just study this separately. End up. If you don't improve your work habits, you will end up being fired. End up. Like you will reach to a stage or a place or an action where you will be fired, right? End in. Now, these two words have different prepositions attached to it, the meaning changes completely. End in and end up. End in is to finish in a certain way, to result into something. But end up is to finally reach a state. Now see, first word in both the situation is same. But as soon as you added different prepositions, the meaning changed altogether. Similarly, in case of drop in, drop off, drop out. Now these are three separate words. Okay, they have all together different meanings. Drop in is to visit. May I drop in today to see you? Right? Can I come and visit you, or can I come and see you? Drop off. I'll drop off the papers later today. That means, I'll deliver something or deliver someone. Okay. I'll drop off my mom at her place by evening. Okay. Or drop off is another meaning. Drop off is to fall asleep. Okay. I often drop off in front of the TV. Now, drop out is to leave a school or any institution without finishing your course. Right? Drop out. Zach dropped out of college and joined the army. Now, all these three words have drop in the beginning, but they're followed by different prepositions and the meaning altogether changed. It just completely changed. Right? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Yes. So you have to use phrasal verbs very carefully. You need to be sure of the meaning of these phrasal verbs. You cannot just use anything and anywhere. You cannot use drop in place of drop out. No. The meanings are completely different. Wherein drop in says to visit, drop out says to leave school without finishing. Am I clear? Yes. Any problems? Anything that you would like me to explain it to you? Or otherwise, we'll just quickly start studying. Start with the exercise. Clear? Okay, I have few examples here, and then I have, of course, a few more exercise questions with me. Let's just quickly do this, and then I'll share that another practice exercise also with you. See if you are able to do this. Are you able to solve these? I can see your responses. Is it difficult? Wait, guys, I can't see your responses. Why? His father always taught him not to look down on. Stop complaining and hello? Sir, can you hear me? हेलो मुझे इंटरनेट इशू बिकॉज मुझे ना कमेंट्स नहीं दिख रहे हैं बच्चों के All right, in the meantime, I'll just discuss the answers. I can't see your queries. I don't know why. In the meantime, I'll just discuss the answers with you. His father always taught him not to look down on those people with less. Stop complaining and get over your work. Get on with your work. So, continue doing what you're doing and finish it. The boss wants you to hand in your figures for this month to him, like submit what you're supposed to submit. We are going to have to put off our trip to Spain until September. That means we cannot continue our trip. We will have to let it go. I ran into Amir today at the supermarket. It was great to see him. Sir, are you sure you can hear me? Hello? हेलो सर वीडियो ठीक चल रहा है वीडियो ठीक है ना सर मेरा सर आई डोंट नो वो क्वेश्चंस क्यों नहीं खुल रहे हैं मेरे इट्स ओके मैं अपने फोन पे खोल रही हूँ I'm doing it. It's okay. I'm continuing with the class. Then I'll take 5 minutes break. उसके बाद I'll check. ठीक है? Okay. I ran into Amir today at the supermarket. That means I met Amir during my visit. Okay. I'm so tired of Sophie and showing off her engagement ring all the time. Showing off, like, just bragging about something. Showing up is to be present somewhere. So you are basically, concerned with somebody showing off. Okay, now I can see your responses. Fine, so I think most of you have got it right. Good. Okay. The police would not give in to the kidnapper's demands. Now, give in is to submit yourself and to agree to what other person is saying. Give up is when you just give up with something. Okay, you stop doing something. Am I clear? Are we clear about the phrasal verbs here? Is there any problem that anybody has when it comes to phrasal verbs, or everything is clear? Okay, if everything is clear, then I'll take a 5 minutes break right now and come back, and then we'll start with the great Neha that you got 6 right. If everything is clear to you guys, then we'll come back again and then we'll start with the other topic. We had left with 2 topics, I guess. It's collocations and idioms. Then we'll continue with that. All right, guys. Let's take a break, 5 minutes. let's not waste time. Okay. Hi. Yeah, there was some problems, some technical glitch, but it's fine. It's sorted. All right. So now our next topic is about the collocations. Now, what collocations are? Let's look at the PPT. Are we clear till here? Or there are few more sentences. Would you like to do some more exercise, or should I just start with the class? Oh, I think we can quickly do it. Let's just quickly solve these 7 sentences. You have to pick the appropriate phrasal verb. No, clear, it's fine. Let's just quickly do it. These are like 7 sentences only. I can see the responses coming in. Okay. Okay. I thought I would drop in for a cup of coffee. Is that okay? Have you ever come across, like, have you ever seen something like so unusual? It is important to show up on time. Lift up your feet when walking. You don't want to. Now, uplift is something else. Uplift is, when you pick somebody as per the, the situation, basically. You empower them. The tree was blown up, blown over, or blown up by the wind. He took off his hat to show me his new, took off his hat. I just can't seem to get off this book. Like, I can't just seem to leave this book. Alright, so I think most of you have actually got it right. Now let's quickly start with the next topic, which is, I think, is quite interesting again. Now, what are collocations? Please understand that whatever we're studying right now, we're studying a different types of vocabulary. At the end of the day, the use and the purpose of knowing these vocabulary is the same. It's just to make you more, natural with the language. If you have knowledge about these kind of vocabulary, these variety of vocabularies, and you know how to use them effectively, your language skills will be fantastic. I mean, your writing skills also, your verbal skills also, because you can write well. You can express yourself, where you can convey what you are trying to say. You can use appropriate words attached. Am I clear? Now, what is collocation and why do we even use them? Now, collocations is basically refers to a, have I shared the screen? Yeah. So collocations basically, it refers to the group of two or more words that usually go together. Okay. Okay. So usually the words that go together hand in hand. Now, for example, if I tell you, I give you three words, tell me which word makes sense and which group of words we usually use. Strong rain. Now, strong rain, heavy rain, big rain. Which two words sound more natural? Which two words we use quite often? We use, out of all these three options, there's only one correct option that we use. Heavy rain, absolutely. We always say this heavy rain. We never say there's big rain, there's strong rain. No. The word, two words that go together is heavy rain. So these are called collocations. The words two or more words they usually go together. Okay. Co meaning together, location meaning place. Collocation are words that are located together. Now, why learn collocation? Because your language will be more natural, it will be more easily understood. You will have alternative, richer way of expressing yourself. It's easier for our brains to remember and use language in chunks and blocks rather than single words. Okay, it's as a scientifically, it basically our mind absorbs more. Now, needless to say, it enhances your language skills. Right? Now we have, okay, now how do we learn about these collocations? How one can actually improve and know about these collocations? And then there's so many collocations which are business specific that you should know. We will discuss which are the business specific collocations, which words come together in terms of business. Now, be aware of collocations and try to recognize them when you see or hear them. Okay. You need to know like the words that come together or you hear them quite often together. Just memorize them or recognize them and learn them. Treat collocations as single block of language. Try to use this and treat them as a single block. Heavy rain, they are not two words. Consider them as a single block. Think of them as individual blocks or chunks and learn strong. Like for example, strongly support. Now, strongly support is the word that comes together. These are collocations, not two words that are coming together. Treat them as one block or one unit. Okay. When you learn a new word, write down those words and then collocate them with it. remember rightly, remember distinctly, remember vaguely, remember vividly. Now, which are the words that can go with remember? Okay, the words that you can often use, remember those words. Read as much as possible. See, the basic way of improving your language is reading. If you're not reading, you cannot. In terms of your grammar, in terms of vocabulary, both things cannot be improved if you are not reading. Because if you will not read, you will not absorb the words, you will not come up. And also, reading is a very private thing. When you're having a conversation, there's so many words that are spoken together, you cannot remember everything. Or you cannot, forget about the conversation and start noting down the words that you want to remember. Right? You cannot. So after the conversation, you forget about those words. But reading is a very private thing. You can always make sure that you can make note of those words. You can remember those words. You can actually stop reading and first look for those words, right? You can do things at your own pace, which is why reading is also important. It's just not the, this can actually give you better space to learn about new words. Revise what you learn regularly. Revise in the sense, try to speak those words quite often. Learn collocations in group that work for you. You could learn by the topic. Like you can learn the words by the topic. You don't have to learn. Like for example, just like phrasal words, just like jargons, there's no point of learning everything. So just learn according to what is suitable for you and what you would use in your daily language. You can find information collocation in any good learner's dictionary, and you can also buy a special ed dictionary or collocation. Now let's learn about the types of collocation. Type of collocation is when adverb and adjective come together. Okay, so in this case we have, like for example, completely satisfied. So now basically you have two things together. You have one adverb and one adjective coming together to make the collocations. Am I clear? Right? Like for example, absurdly easy, fully aware, painfully slow, widely believed. Absurdly easy. Now, this one is adverb, of course, ly word. Then there is the adjective. Fully aware. Now, next combination comes is of adjective plus noun. And two adjectives. Like you use these words together. For example, deep sleep. Now, there is an adjective and there is a noun together. High cost. You know what I'm trying to say here? Like these words you hear quite often. These words actually come together. Noun, business English, round of applause, bar of soap. When two nouns come together, and of course, oftenly you use preposition to connect them, but that's how it is. Then you have noun and verb. Engine roars, dog bark, cats this. So two words that can always come together, right? Then we come up to the verb plus noun. Commit, decide. Right? Am I clear? And then can you look at these words that are given in the brackets also? These are not the words that you use quite often. Am I clear? The verb that you do not use quite often. Okay. Then you have, break a record, break a leg, break the law, pay attention. So these are all the examples of verb plus noun. Then comes the verb with expression with preposition. So basically you are using preposition to explain something. Am I clear? Like, for example, care for, excuse for, vote for, burst into tears. I mean, any two combinations of these words that can come together. Last comes the verb plus adverb. Fully appreciate. No, it's actually verb plus adverb. So verb comes in the first and the adverb comes towards the end. So away frenetically. Admit freely. Right? So words that can come together. I hope these things you understand now. Strongly advise, completely forget, anything that comes in the conversation of verb plus adverb. Are we clear? Yes, there's any problem. Of course, connotations and collocations are different. Who's this one? Khushi. Khushi, connotations is the emotional meaning attached to the words, right? Here, we're talking about two words that we usually use together. They come together, subconsciously, these words just come together. We do not think of anything else to connect these two words. Like, for example, I say, I totally agree with you, right? Now, I am very strong about it. And, I agree with whatever you're saying. Automatically, these two words come from my mouth. I totally agree with you, right? For example, lion roars. Now, that's how we say it. The dogs barks, cat purrs, anything, any two words that come together. So this is very different. Connotations is the emotional meaning attached to the words. Collocation is group of words that come together quite often. Am I clear? Yes. Yes. Now look here. I have actually given so many examples here. How you actually use them. Innovating the country was an utterly stupid thing to do, right? So these two words are coming. We entered a richly decorated room. Now, again, the words that comfortably come together and explain something to us. So just go through these examples quickly and then I will move on. Come on, go through these examples quickly and then we will do the exercise. And then we're left with the last topic of the day. Maiden voyage means the first experience or the first time of something. So again, now you understand these two words are used together whenever you want to explain about the first experience or first time of something. Way frenetically means to, when something is very bad and scary and wild. Okay. Excruciating pain. I mean, you're asking these words to me. Guys, they are already sent. They will be uploaded. Don't worry. Excruciating pain is like intensely painful. Something that is very, very painful. Done. Go through these also. The ceasefire agreement is a type of agreement. Now, see, understand the ceasefire agreement. Now, this is a very business English kind of a collocation. You don't use it everywhere. This is very specific to work. It's a kind of agreement. Filled with horror, drive anybody to crime, had run out of money. The words that comes with the expression of prepositions. The expressions that are added by prepositions to the words. Okay, if you're done with this, let's quickly look at this exercise. And then we'll start with the last topic of the time, and then we'll quickly take up the queries and exercises. You have to basically add, make, do, get, take to make the collocations that are commonly used. Good, good, good. No, Neha, I don't think there is any subjective question that comes from these two chapters. Mostly you have MCQ based. Just the way I'm asking you in your practice questions. A sentence is given to you and you have options to select. Okay, so the first one is get lost, take a shower, make a fortune, get ready, take a picture of someone, take a suggestion, get started, make friends, do harm, take a break. Are we clear? I think mostly most of you have got the answers correct. Now let's understand the idiom, which is such a amazing topic. Now, something that can actually change your language or your speaking skills and your writing skills drastically, it is idioms. Okay. Connotations, collocations, phrasal verbs, they are not very difficult topics, and we are kind of used to using them. Even without somebody told you this formally, that what collocations and what connotations, you're already using it. Like even before I explained you, or even before anybody else would have explained you, you're already using it as part of your conversation. I've just, specified, and I've told you technically that this is what they're called, right? Now you know specifically this is what it is. You can learn more, you can improve more, but you're already using them. Now, idioms is something that we don't use without knowledge. You cannot use without knowledge. These are the group of words that have a different meaning altogether. Idioms have been used from generation to generation. Idioms have a metaphorical or figurative meaning rather than a literal meaning. It adds a flavor to writing, or it adds style to it. Not even just writing, even while speaking. It just makes you sound so intelligent. It makes you sound amazing. Conversation is interesting. It makes the conversation very lively also. It also shows your knowledge about language. It also puts forward the thoughts more convincingly. If you can just put that thought in the form of idiom, I think you're expressing yourself in the most beautiful way. Important aspect to know the idioms, their meanings, and their usage. Of course, idioms is something that you cannot use without knowledge. It cannot be used without knowledge. There is list of idioms given in your study material, but that's not enough. The list is endless. Okay, the list is endless when it comes to using the idiom. Now let's understand how you use them. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, let's be very distant. Now, fair and square. Fair and square is one idiom. Okay, and fair and square means being direct and or fair. Okay, so you're basically being either direct or fair with somebody. All right. Now, if I have to use it in an example, I use it this way. To tell you fair and square, I did everything I was meant to do, but I still feel unfulfilled. To tell you fair and square, I did everything that I was meant to do, but I still feel unfulfilled. So basically, he's trying to say just to tell you something very direct and very clear about things. Right? So instead of saying to tell you honestly, or to tell you fairly, or to tell you directly, to use an idiom basically beautifies your language. Am I clear? Yes. Yes. Now, for example, down for the count. Now, down for the count means being tired. Okay. My dog is down for the count. Sorry. After playing the whole day with the frisbee, my dog is down for the count. Now, again, I can easily say my dog is very tired, my dog doesn't want to do this, but using this is more intelligent and more nice. It just, again, like I just said, I'm using this word again and again. It just beautifies it. Am I clear? I'm going to give you a idiom here. You have to make a sentence with it. Go the extra mile. Now, go the extra mile means to make an extra effort. I want you to make a sentence using go the extra mile. Okay, quick. Priyanka, you can say I would go the extra mile for my CA exams. Okay. Anybody else? You have to go the extra mile to clear CA exams. Very good. She's willing to go an extra mile for passing her examination. Just go the extra mile. Success is waiting for you. Very good. You must go the extra mile. You must study and go do revision. Harshita, when you use go extra mile, you've already said what it requires to prepare for the examination, so you don't have to use so many words. All right, perfect. So now you know what it means. Just do this PPT. Okay. Yes, the first one is he's a good conversationalist. So basically, gift of gab means being a good conversationalist. Parents parental property has become a bone of contention between the siblings. Yes, the cause of rivalry. Once in a blue moon, we meet each other. It's very, very seldom indeed. Very seldom means it's very rare that we meet. Okay. Avoid starvation, apologize humbly, and isolated. Yes. So he's been jobless for several months. It is his wife who keeps the pot boiling. That means she's the one who's working. In the end, he had to eat the humble pie, is apologize humbly. High and dry is to, being left alone in our situation. So this was about the idioms. Oh no, this two more quickly. Nobody's answered for this one. 7 and 8. Quickly, guys. Yes, the seventh one is to celebrate noisily in public places. And chairman looked disappointed when the house did not accept the suggestions put forth. Clear? Are we clear? Everyone, is there any problem that you had so far? I think we're done with the chapter. So in case you want to ask me any questions, ask me now. Or otherwise, we can do some more practice. We still have 15 minutes to go. All right. Ask me in case there's any problem that you have. Everyone, I'm waiting for you. In case there is any problem that you want to ask, you can ask. Matthew, what is not clear? Harshita, nuisance means to create ruckus, or not to behave properly. Yes, Priyanka. So Priyanka, connotations is basically when you have emotional meaning attached to something. Yeah. For example, from your book only, if I pick up the words. Okay. Thank you, Neha. All right. Okay. Where is my phone? Okay. Now there are three words: hobby, obsession, and avocation. Okay. Now all these three words. Now hobby is a neutral word. Obsession is a negative word, and avocation is a positive word. Okay, now what it means? It means that uh, when I'm using the word obsession, when I say Ria is obsessed with her guitar, right? Upset, like it's a negative because having too much of interest in something and forgetting everything else is called obsession. So hobby is a good thing, but having obsession is the wrong thing. I will say hobby. Now, playing guitar is her hobby. So, in that case, uh, that is a neutral word. That is nothing to do with negative. It is not positive. You can use hobby for everything. Okay. But if I say my favorite avocation is playing guitar. Now, avocation is a very positive word. This is my hobby and this is what I like to do. This is more productive for me. So these three words have almost a similar meaning. For hobby, you can use avocation as positively. You can also use a negative word obsession for somebody who is obsessed. Am I clear? Like similarly, Ayushi, it's done. It's already shared. It will be uploaded on the portal. Don't worry, you guys will get it. Next is adventurous, foolhardy, and courageous. Now tell me which one is neutral, which one is positive, and which one is negative. Nivisha, you can just look it up online. Is adventurous, foolhardy, courageous. Now tell me which is positive, which is negative, and which is adventurous is neutral, foolhardy is negative, and courageous is positive. Right? So I think now you're clear. If anybody has confusion with connotation, I think it's clear to you guys. All right. So with this, my chapter 3 is done. In case you have any queries, please ask me now. Practice is the key to success. The more you practice grammar and vocabulary, it will get better. It doesn't matter how good somebody is when it comes to teaching. These topics are such topics that will only get better if you practice them on your own. Okay. Look for the things on internet, read. Things will get better eventually. You will learn. And please understand that English is the most important part of professional world. It's business English is the most important thing. You should master it at this time when you still have a little bit of time. Once you start working and when you are into professional environment, you might not have time to improve yourself and to work over these. So work over these things now because you still have time. I always tell students who are in school also that you have too much of time to work over your language skills, to improve your language. Do it now so that you don't have to put your efforts and time later in life on these things. So I think this is why ICAI also has introduced this thing at a foundational level so that we want you to have a strong foundation over language also. Am I clear? Okay. Any queries? No query. Okay. Let me know how was the sessions. Did you enjoy? If the topics are clear to you, just let me know. All right. Now you have to actually pick up the phrasal verb in these sentences. The teacher dash an explanation on his conduct. Omvati, it will be uploaded. It's not uploaded yet. On the ICS website, Sameer, you can get the moral test papers and samples from there. Shika, thank you so much. Great, Chandan, if there is no query. All right. The teacher dashed an explanation for his conduct. Called off, called out, called in, or called. It's called. Called for. Perfect. Next one is dash the doctor immediately. Call in the doctor immediately. Julie called on us yesterday. What is it? Called on. My grandfather cannot call up past events, like he cannot remember. His arrogance brought in his ruin. Anything else? Okay, look at these collocations. The words that usually come together. If you park there, you will have to pay a fine. He dashed no attention to my request. He paid no attention to my request. I dashed a cough to catch her attention. What will this for? I gave a cough. Although the doctors tried hard, they couldn't save his life. Abbreviations dash space, and hence they are very common in newspaper. I think abbreviations save space. Do you keep a diary? Few people can keep a secret. He's still in touch with most of his school friends. He still keeps in touch with most of his schoolmates. I asked her what her problem was, but she kept quiet. They dashed close to hitting each other. They came close to hitting each other. So this is what collocations was about. I hope it was easy. All right, now finally ask me if there is anything. Otherwise, we'll, just go and enjoy the evening now. It's Saturday. Any problem, anything that you want to say to me? Any query, guys? Neha, it's there on the website, ICAI's website. I don't know about the app or something, but that's there. That's definitely there on your website, where you have the study material section, student section. Thank you, Khushi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jaspreet. Thank you, Harshika. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for the encouraging words. If you have any topic specific problem taking. After this, I think most probably I'll be taking the chapter 8. English is not boring. I think this is one language that also connects so many of us within our own country. Like, for example, we know Hindi and English here in Delhi. If I go to Chennai or maybe go to any certain states, they might not know Hindi. They know their regional language and then they know English. So English is the only common grounds where we are connected, where we can talk to each other. So this is why this is so important. It's not only about working globally. It's also about communicating within people within our own country. We cannot know all the languages, like we cannot learn all the regional languages. Nobody's that trained enough for that. Yes, of course, if you're working in another state and you have to, that's need of the hour, you will learn the language, but you cannot know all the languages, right? So English is the only language that connects all of us, which is why improve today so that later on you don't have to put in your effort. It just comes natural to you. The language is natural. All right, guys, on this note, bye-bye. Take care. Have a great Saturday ahead. Have the evening ahead. Sridhar, you will move. You will definitely. Don't worry. All right, guys. Bye. See you.